Good afternoon, everyone. And I'm going to take a moment to say a big thank you to Justin and the whole team for this wonderful event. I think it's fantastic we're all together here this afternoon. It's been way, way too long. Great to see a lot of familiar faces. So the topic this afternoon is addressable TV. And I'm joined by my esteemed colleague, Anton Vassiliev. Anton is the director for AdTech Media at Bell Media. And I'm Nurmi, if you have not had a chance to meet yet. And Anton, as we've been hearing a lot from the group this morning, I find it incredibly stimulating, challenging, exciting as we wrestle with some of these same issues in our organization, and incredibly thought-provoking. I thought it's been an incredible start to the day. How have you been finding the conference so far?
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Good afternoon, everyone. I think this is probably my second or first conference of the season as well, and it's really nice to see a group of folks, the community coming together again. And just the energy in the room is you forget how much you miss having the group of people talking about a subject matter they're passionate on. So it was exciting to hear that both on the buyer side, the seller side, the ad tech side, similar language is being used to describe up and coming opportunities, investments, but also frustrations and challenges. And so we understand that nobody on this stage today is kind of living in a silo in the sense of what they're experiencing, even though silos may be one of the challenges that we're encountering. And maybe we'll talk about that as to how we're addressing that on the ATV side. I think for our purpose today, we have a limited time, and we were going to focus on Bell Media specifically and what we're doing in the space. But I think this category requires collaboration amongst the broadcasters, the media companies, the agencies to really come together to solve some of those issues in order for it to really scale at the speed that we want it to.
Yeah, it's great, and there's been an awful lot of questions, and I don't know if we're all going to have the answers, but there's certainly a lot of collaboration required. I think an incredible set of assets available, both media and the will and power from the client base. And look forward to exploring these challenges. Anton, one of the questions that we've been exploring as we look at this is, with all the chatter we're hearing and the constant change, evolution in the marketplace, we've talked about addressable TV for some time now. And the question that I think all of us want to go, are we ready? Are we ready for this? Are we ready to make this transition to this new way of buying?
Well, we're ready. I don't know about everybody else. I think the one thing that's been consistent in terms of messaging here, when we talked about connected TV, video consumption on digital versus linear television, and the big draw that's kind of moving dollars from traditional channels onto digital is technology and data, right? And addressable at its core is effectively that, is how do we take a media that's been around for 80 years and has been a leading tool for mass communication in an impactful, emotional way, and then add the digital capabilities of both programmatic technology, automation of transaction, but also granularity of targeting at household level, and then bring that to life. So I think from a technology standpoint, we're there. I think there's some challenges that we're going to talk about that still need to be addressed, but overall, the faster we as a group want to adopt it, the faster it's going to become a reality and a common part of our media planning process.
Thanks. Yeah, it rings true. You say it's a long time when doing things in a certain way, and change is sometimes difficult. I wonder if you could touch a little bit more on some of the complexities and challenges that we're encountering, and I think as we're looking at this new world, this new opportunity, it really is the fusion of the linear and the addressable and how that'll work. Can you comment a little bit more on some of the challenges, complexities that you've been working through?
Yeah, for sure. I would say if we were to categorize the challenges or intricacies that had to be addressed on the technology side, doing addressable creative delivery in a linear live feed to 100,000 households that are watching a sporting event at the same time, there's a lot of complexities involved there, especially if you're trying to fulfill the expectations that the buyer or the client has, that they're used to receiving on TV in terms of category separation, frequency capping, et cetera. All of that is an important component that had to be addressed, and I'm happy to say that most of that has been addressed. Then on the buyer and seller side, there's a lot of adaptation on the process and systems we use. How does this fit into the planning and the buying process? I think this came up earlier on stage around, whose budget does this come out of? Is this linear TV budget? Is this digital budget? Whose plan does it sit under? I think all of those still need to be figured out, but I think all of these challenges are addressable, for lack of a better word.
Love it. Great sense of humor, and if you haven't had a chance to check it, very impressive bio as well, Anton. I wonder if we could take it down from more of a broad focus for the industry and what addressable means to what's been going on at Bell Media and some of the work that we've been going through in our journey there. There's again, an awful lot of challenges, but as we look at this, and I think think about the future here, I recently saw a play by another well-known Anton Chekhov, and some existential, some pretty heavy material comes up there. And I guess one of the questions here is, what does the future look like? If we are ready for addressable, what does this mean for linear? Does linear go away? Or will there be some kind of coexistence between the two, a symbiotic relationship? What does the future look like?
Yeah. I think this has been brought up, or at least addressed almost at every panel so far. Like linear TV in the way that we buy it today is not going away. It is still a very effective mass reach medium or mass reach tool. I think addressable is a very powerful accompaniment to that. If you require specificity, if you require more granularity in your targeting, I think all of these are pretty common sense, and I think they will both play kind of an important role in the plan. I don't think one's going to replace the other. I think the goal is to, at least from a Bell Media standpoint, is to offer kind of the tools and the technology to make planning TV, from what I kept hearing, easier and more efficient, and provide those resources to both, the sales executives on our side and the buying professionals on our partner side.
Great. The one theme that comes up, and there's still the notion of the power, the mass reach of television, linear television, and then the granularity of addressable. And couldn't help but notice some super cool shoes around this conference today, and sneakers in particular. And it made me think about a recent purchase I made with Nike by You. You can design your own pair of shoes and customize every element of those shoes. It arrives in a shoebox with your name on and all the details. And I wonder if you could touch a little bit more on what a unique customized experience means, where it's done well, it is so memorable and perfect. And when we look at addressable television, can you talk a little bit more about what Bell has been doing there and what that customization, personalization means at a household level?
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is where our venture or our vision for the marketing platform within Bell kind of initiated is first building the analytics engine that would actually allow us to do this. We have a bit of an unfair advantage of having a Bell Mobility as part of the umbrella of Bell corporate companies, as well as Bell Home Services, as well as Bell Media. And the data that's privacy compliant, opted in, subscriber level data that's provided from all of those sources feeds into Bell Analytics, which then plugs into our DSP that kind of serves as a nucleus for us to figure out, who is watching, what is a household composition like, and more importantly, who lives in that household, and how else can we engage with them across other media channels, be it, the web, the digital, or even out of home, right? Can we connect the dots between a digital billboard and someone watching an ad on television? I'm not going to venture out to provide any kind of Nike-style examples, but I'm sure you guys, all marketers here, will have plenty of great creative ideas on what you can do if I can give you the tool to know that this individual saw this ad, and then 2 days later has been exposed to an opportunity to see another sequential opportunity, and then again in a different medium, and be able to report all of that in a unified single user interface. I think that's kind of the holy grail. And I think that's been kind of the vision of what we're after. It's bringing television, radio, out of home, digital, all in a single user face, all planned from a single unified audience segment that comes from a trusted data source, right? And then addressable TV is a major component of that.
Amazing. And so our approach to this has been via the Bell marketing platform, as we've coined it, three key pillars: the analytics, SAM, and the DSP. So if linear and addressable will coexist, could you maybe touch a little bit on how DSP and addressable will function moving forward?
Yeah, of course. I think that exactly kind of to expand on the previous point is addressable will be sold by the direct channel, so you can always call your sales representative and do an addressable based plan. But in order to do a proper omni-channel campaign, you have to have the opportunity to either have, either as a managed service or ideally hands-on keyboard opportunity to log in, identify what your campaign objectives are, have an audience segment design or built specific to that objective, and then without having to use 6 systems with 6 different reports, be able to plan in one user interface the campaign that would span across addressable TV and then digital and then out of home and radio. And so having a DSP that provides that opportunity, a single UI, I think was pivotal to our marketing plan.
Amazing. Now, I see we are at time here, and there's lots of information to cover on this, certainly more than this short touch point will allow. Maybe just last question. As we look forward, what's next? What's going on in the addressable TV world at Bell Media? What can we look forward to?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think the way kind of Spencer handled it earlier around addressing what Chorus has been doing, and commend them for kind of the work that they've done, and Rogers as well. The future is now. I mean, we're looking to launch the addressable program in October with a handful of channels and a couple of strategic partners, with a plan to roll out across all of our stations throughout 2023 and advance kind of the buying mechanisms as well as audience targeting capabilities. So there's going to be a lot of launch opportunities throughout the next year. So if that's something you or your clients are interested in, I certainly encourage you to reach out to your Bell Media representative.
Amazing. Thank you very much. And again, we are at time here, but lots to cover on this topic, and look forward to further collaboration, conversation, debate with the community as well. There's some brilliant ideas as we explore this brave new world of ours, and plenty of resources to do that with, and welcome ideas on this. Anton, thank you so much for sharing your perspective, your experience, and I look forward to hearing more about this in the future.
Thanks, Chris. Everybody enjoy your afternoon.